What's up guys, this is Laser Monkey, welcome back, and today I'm talking about a practice technique that if you are not doing, you should be doing right now, and it is simulating a competition. So you can see here, I have set up my StackMat display and timer, and I have a cube cover, and my cube and warm-up cube, and the idea here is to simulate as closely as possible the actual environment that you will experience when you are in a competition and competing. The idea is that we get very nervous in uncomfortable and new, unfamiliar situations. And you want to make competing and solving in a StackMat and with the timer and everything as familiar and comfortable as possible. And if you do averages with this setup, not only are you practicing actually solving with a StackMat and starting and stopping the timer with a StackMat, but you're also gonna imagine people watching you, or even actually get people to watch you and get an actual person to judge you, to try and simulate the competition as closely as possible, because the more familiar something is, the less nerve-wracking it is when you're actually doing it for real. Right now I'm going to do a competition simulation average of 5 to show you what I'm talking about. So on my phone I just have pulled up a scrambling app, which just has a scramble on it. I'm using 5 timer. And you just scramble the cube, put it under the cube cover, and you want to have a warm-up cube. And the idea here is to have a repetitive thing that you do every single time you solve, because that is really useful. It gets you into the zone, and if you do the same thing every single time you do one of these competition simulations, and then you do the same thing when you're doing your actual solves, it's going to get you in a certain mindset, and so you're going to return to that mindset every single time, and it's just a really good way to focus into your competition solve. So whether you're doing the same few algorithms, I do a few algorithms and I kind of expand and focus my attention in a certain way every single time. It's the most important thing is to do the same thing every single time. It has to be very repetitive so that you're just used to it and everything is very comfortable and familiar. So now I'm going to do my practice routine or my warm-up routine, and then I'm going to do the solve. So if you have a judge, this is way better. I don't have a judge available at the current moment, but if you do have one, that is much better. So the first solve, not great, but the idea is that you accept every single solve and you have to keep going. And this can really allow you to simulate a lot of possible competition possibilities. So maybe you get a few bad solves, or you get a few good solves and then one terrible solve, and you really have to get a good solve on the next one. It's really important to have just honest practice where you don't try and fake anything or delete solves. You just want to do it straight through. And so then you can focus on actually improving, because you can't fake competition solves, and so you want to not fake the simulation either. So again, if you're working on actually getting better at, like, say, reducing your inspection time and stuff like this, it's very important to have a judge that actually does the inspection for you. But if you're not lucky enough to have that, then just doing it yourself and trying to get that is okay, and it does the purpose somewhat, but it's better to have a judge. Color neutral, it's a bit more difficult than my standard white yellow. So as you can tell, this average is all over the place. And a good practice technique that you might want to use if you get an actually terrible solve, you can suspend the actual simulation and just try and practice down that solve to fix your flaws, and then go for another competition simulation. That was a 9.31 average. And that is the purpose of this. I haven't done an average yet today, but I'm going to leave this in the video just to show you that this is real practice and that I'm not faking anything here. I'm going to do another average just to try and redeem myself because I am doing color neutral and I'm not great at color neutral yet. So I'm still practicing that. But I want to encourage all of you. Take my bad solves as an example and go on and get better solves than me. And, you know, crush the game and do this practice technique. It'll make your competition so much better. I'm making this mistake now instead of in the actual competition, and that is extremely important. Doing long CS timer sessions is beneficial, kind of, but this kind of practice is so much more valuable in my opinion. So if you have a mixture of them and you try and do this as often as possible, it's really going to be great for your official competing, and that's all that really matters. In for me, my competition records mean so much more than my at-home records. Alright, so thank you so much for watching. My average was 7.13, pretty good for me, but you know, I still have a lot of work to do on color neutral, so that is going to be my project for this break, a winter break. I hope you guys enjoy your holidays. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys take advantage of this practice technique that so many fast cubers are doing every day. That's about it. This is Laser Monkey, out.